I'm Nick Seco from Home Right Windows and Doors, and we're located in Waynesboro, Pennsylvania. So we do vinyl replacement windows, we do steel and fiberglass entry doors, we do aluminum storm doors, and we do sliding patio doors, all made by Provia. The windows are a vinyl replacement window, and it could be anything from double hungs to casements to bay and bow windows and everything in between. So when somebody calls in the office and needs an estimate, they get Roxanne on the phone typically, and she would schedule an appointment for me to come out and take some measurements, provide some literature, go through what options we have, and then I would follow up within about 24 to 48 hours with an estimate with all the details of the products as well as the installed price. I find that we're typically much more affordable than the companies that you see advertising on TV or in a lot of other places. If they're spending a lot of advertising dollars, obviously they're passing those costs on to their consumers. You could go to our website at homerightwaynesboro.com, or you could call us at 717-749-4874.
Local and live, covering Franklin and Washington counties, it's Let's Talk TriState with Tiny and Katie.
Welcome to Let's Talk TriState for this Friday, March 28th, 2025. We are honored to be joined by our good friend from localnews1.org. This is Dan DeDona. Dan?
Good to see you again.
It's been a couple weeks since we've had actually a few weeks since you and I have had a chance to chat. So
it has been.
Really looking forward to this. Let's Talk TriState, all powered by Home Right Windows and Doors in Waynesboro, the right choice winner in the 2024 Best of the Tri-State Awards. So, Dan, as we typically do when we have you, last week we had to take a week off. We had a bunch of things going on here at the radio station and at Let's Talk Tri-State. But we start with the 5 things that can be done this weekend, typically for free, but some community events that are happening, and that's where you come in. So what do we have this week?
Absolutely. Well, out at the Maryland Theater on 21 South Potomac Street, Terry Fator, I think is how it's pronounced.
Fator. Yep.
Fator. Mm-hmm. Terry Fator, On the Road Again show. Yep. He's apparently, he does a mix of modern hits and classics from 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. Some musical parodies. He's a ventriloquist.
Yes, he's very good.
So that'll be tonight at 7 p.m. at the Maryland Theater.
I believe that it was America's Got Talent or the X Factor. I can't remember which he's from, but he's one of those big talent shows on TV.
Apparently very good. Yeah. You can get tickets online at marylandtheater.org/Terry-Fader, or you can call the box office at 304-790-2000.
Okay.
Next up, on Saturday, tomorrow at between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m., Keystone Outdoors out in Fort Loudon is hosting a youth fishing contest. They'll be awarding prizes for the heaviest fish, the heaviest creel limit. Additionally, the first 10 children will check in their catch, and they'll receive a special prize. And 2 lucky winners will get a $100 gift card.
That event every year is extremely well attended, and not to mention tomorrow, a little bit of some cloud cover, and almost 80 degrees. So
beautiful day,
perfect day,
beautiful day
for fishing.
Yeah. Next up in Waynesboro, Buttonwood Nature Center. Have you ever had a desire to talk to an owl?
Who?
An owl.
Who? Me?
Gotcha. Very good. Anyway. They are going to have an event featuring a live owl as part of their Naturalist Discovery Series. Strix is the name of the owl. He is an owl ambassador from Strawberry Hill Nature Preserve, and his handler, Ann Gageby. You'll have an opportunity to see Strix up close, learn about the life of an owl. Children will enjoy owl-themed craft to take home with them, and they'll get a free copy of the book Hoot by Carl Hyacin.
Now, where is this Buttonwood?
This will be taking place at Pine Hill Recreation Area.
Okay. Gotcha.
Up on, it's just off of Menser Gap, yep. And not far from Route 16. That'll be Saturday at 1:30 p.m. Next up, number 4, Women in Need is hosting a bingo event at the St. Thomas Township Fire and Rescue facility at 34 Schoolhouse Road in St. Thomas. That'll be Sunday, March 30th. Doors will be open at 11 a.m. with lunch served at noon and games starting at 1 p.m. Should be a lot of fun. Tickets are available for $35. It is a fundraising event. And proceeds will support their mission, Women in Need's mission, to provide assistance to families in need. So
they do wonderful work, and they are a frequent visitor here at Let's Talk Tri-State. So we love that you mentioned Women in Need. They're very, very great organization. And
finally, Habitat for Humanity of Franklin County will be hosting a magical fundraiser featuring Uncle Bean at the Capitol Theater in Chambersburg. This free event will open on March 30th, Sunday, March 30th. It'll run from 3 p.m. until 6. And it promises family fun for all ages. There'll be a magic show. Pizza will be provided by Fox's Pizza Den. You can take a shot at a golf simulator, which are actually a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, they are.
There'll also be a silent auction, and the fundraiser aims to support Habitat's ongoing efforts to empower low-income families through home ownership in Franklin County. They've got a great record of doing this stuff. They really do.
Mark Story, another wonderful friend of Verständig Media, Let's Talk Tri-State. But in all reality, Dan, you have me at Fox's Pizza.
Yeah.
So that's all you really needed to say. Hey, free Fox's Pizza. Well, there we are.
You should let me know that in advance.
I save you some words.
Little tip.
Word count matters.
Okay.
All right. So that's the 5 things from this weekend, which you can find a lot more at localnews1.org. A bunch of different events. Dan just curates, tries to get a variety of events for us and does a great job. But speaking of variety, like I said, localnews1.org, the 5 things to do this weekend, followed by some supplementary things to do, along with all week long talking about events. So a lot of times what you say on Fridays about events that are to come have been covered throughout the week on localnews1.org.
Sometimes they have.
And speaking of coverage with localnews1.org, every day you'll hear stories here on 92.1 The Goat, Let's Talk Tri-State, and our sister stations, 101.5 Bob Rocks and 104.7 WAYZ. We rely on localnews1.org to provide those news stories for us. So if you missed any of the big headlines from the week, Dan comes in on Fridays and again shares some of what you may have missed. So Dan, take it away.
Okay. Well, the first big thing is we always encourage people to go out to take a look at localnews1.org. It's especially interesting today. The last word, we are revising and upgrading the website to make it quicker, faster, whiter teeth, fresher breath, all that kind of stuff. We are looking to improve everybody's experience, especially when you get to small mobile devices. Sometimes it's hard to catch everything. So we're improving all of that. It's supposed to be done by this morning. I couldn't nail anybody down for an exact time, but this morning. So hold that thought. And if you go out there and you see the old site and you don't see a lot of news since last night or yesterday afternoon, that's the reason why. We're kind of waiting to put more news out there just as soon as the new site comes up.
It also may help. I'll say this, sometimes when websites, we've had this happen here, when you undergo a change or an update of some type, sometimes you will need to refresh or delete your cookies and clear the cache out of whatever your browser is. Maybe do a refresh on that. Sometimes that can help too to expedite that process. So.
Well, the main thing we're advising most folks to do is when a new site comes up, you're going to need to sign in once again. Now, for those of you who don't like to sign in every 2 weeks, when you sign in, there is an option that says "Remember Me," and "Remember Me" translates into unless something really bad happens to your device, you're good for the next 2 years.
There you go.
So that will solve a lot of problems.
So when it comes to Remember Me, don't forget.
Yes, absolutely. Fire has been really big in the news over the last couple of weeks. There have been burn bans in many areas, including Washington County, Washington Township, Greencastle, and others. The threat is still there. I think an awful lot of people in our coverage area have taken it to heart that the conditions are ripe, especially after you watch what happened out in Los Angeles. Conditions are ripe. We've had very, very little rain. It's been dry. From time to time, it's been very windy. So please pay close attention to what you do with any kind of burning.
This is the first year, Dan, that I've noticed here, at least in Greencastle, they went and got what looked like they were made by campaign sign manufacturers, and just simply, it's a white sign with big black letters that says "Burn Ban in Effect." Yeah. And they've scattered them around the area. It's the first time I've seen that. So that's when you know this is...
It's serious.
It's serious.
That's right. Waynesboro had a fire last Monday at 326 West 2nd Street. 9 different departments responded to that. And the cause has still been undetermined, but it has displaced a family of 5. There is property damage, but fortunately no humans were actually injured.
Was this was a duplex fire, is that correct?
Duplex fire, yes. In Chambersburg, the Franklin County Area Development Corporation gave a State of the Economy presentation to 225 businesses and local area leaders. We had I'm retired Air Force. We had a chief of staff named John Jumper who made the comment, which tends to be very true, is that which is measured improves. So this once a year presentation that Mike Ross of FCADC provides is great because it tells you that, well, our Franklin County is growing, the population is growing, business development is increasing, and that is not at all true in every county throughout the state. A lot of counties are declining in population, and of course they don't necessarily have the big advantages that Franklin County has got, which is I-81 and an awful lot of traffic coming from that direction. So anyway, pretty much a good news story. He capped his presentation by he's always interested in what are all the sources of the future workers that will propel all the businesses that might decide to come here. So he had several people come in and talk about early child development, which is taking the long view. I mean, usually you think about, well, what kind of skills are high school juniors and seniors taking to get ready for getting into the job market as at least a part of what you're concerned about with education. But it is also a true fact that 18 years is all it takes before you're right at that point. And the better you can prepare children before you get actively engaged, the better they can be prepared, the more capable they will be as they move through the entire educational experience.
And Mike is a wealth of information.
He is phenomenal.
Oh, my goodness. I love having him on Let's Talk Tri-State, one of my favorite people. But we have him on so infrequently because he gives so much information that it takes that long to digest what he's put out there. And then that way when we have him back, he just goes, and I love Mike to death. And
you have to change the tape. So.
Oh, goodness, yes. Yeah, love Mike. He's so great.
Letterkenny. They are looking for advisory board members. Apparently throughout DOD, they support the idea that local military installations should have restoration advisory boards. Sometimes some of the military installations over a long period of years have not necessarily brought themselves up to date with respect to the current environmental standards. So the military likes to have, and Letterkenny is looking for volunteers to participate in helping them to identify and how they would go about dealing with environmental issues. Washington County, on the 25th of March, did a budget review. They were looking at a $326.8 million budget. 2/3 of that goes to schools. The majority of that actually goes to schools, police, fire, and EMS. And as you might suspect, those are all the components of what the county is responsible for that have the highest number of personnel associated with them, because personnel is always the highest component of any organization's costs. They're looking at an 8.7% increase. They also dealt with, they had an executive session where they got together and talked about their coming negotiations with the International Firefighters Association. And the other thing, which is interesting, we reported several weeks ago, actually a month or so ago, that there was a suggestion from the Hagerstown Police Department that they should prohibit camping in public areas. Well, in Hagerstown, that topic actually came up on the agenda. What the police are trying to do is define, restrict, and establish penalties for people to do that, but also to provide for some latitude for officers rather than going straight to penalties and whatnot, to give them advice to go to places where there are services for folks that find themselves in those conditions. Apparently the council was of many minds on this subject, so more to follow on that. Franklin County also looked at their budget this past week. There were very few budgets or details available on that. Greencastle had a town hall on the 25th of March. They are interested in something they call the Town Hall Plaza Project, which is intended to clean up the area and add additional facilities, make it more accessible for people when they come to visit the borough offices. In Franklin County, in Chambersburg specifically, there is a railroad crossing some work on a railroad crossing has been rescheduled from this week, which was supposed to start on Monday the 24th. It has now been pushed back to the 2nd through the 9th of April. Apparently there were some problems on the railroad side and getting everything together for that. There will be some traffic impact, but all of the traffic along Orchard Road will still be accessible. You might have to work around a little bit, but that will still be available.
It's the slowest I've seen traffic go through there ever. It's not a bad thing.
Which is not a bad thing.
Not at all.
Sometimes you need to have a stopwatch just for sport. In a brand new category for local news called It's Raining Money, Pennsylvania is issuing 7,380 checks worth $1.7 million to people throughout the state. The reason they're doing this is that the treasurer worked with the legislature and got the laws changed so that if there is money that has come into the state's possession for things like, let's see here, dormant bank accounts, uncashed checks, forgotten stocks, things of that sort, under the value of $500, they want to be very proactive in getting that back into the hands of people who actually own that stuff, who may not actually know that this
unclaimed property.
Unclaimed property. So it eventually migrates that way. So that's a very good thing. And this isn't the only time. They'll be doing this in successive steps.
And just so everyone knows, because I have experience with this, that every state has a website, a link within their websites where you can go to see if you have unclaimed property. So if you've lived in, done business in any particular state, you can go and check and see if you have anything in your name. My father had, I think, close to $500 that was due him from long ago that he had forgotten about it. And he said, well, I don't even remember that. I said, well, just because you don't remember it, it's still yours.
Doesn't mean it's not yours.
Yeah, so let's claim it.
Yeah. So anyway, anything over $500, you still have to go through the usual rules. You can look at the state's website and you can find the details on that. In Waynesboro, B&B Barbecue is moving to 730 South Potomac Street, and they will be doing that on the 8th of April. They are open daily from 11 a.m. until 8 p.m., Tuesdays through Saturdays. This is a pretty good barbecue place.
It's a wonderful barbecue.
It used to be over on Walnut Street, for those of you who are familiar with Waynesboro, but this is a bigger, better facility. So it's good to see that they're able to make this step.
And I also saw that there's a barbecue business moving into the Twin Kiss building.
Could be.
Yeah, they have the smokers are already there, and they're getting ready to go. So good for them.
The Franklin County Literacy Council, which contends that literacy is the foundation of opportunity. It's kind of hard to argue with that. They are looking for additional tutors. Right now, they already provide a lot of services to people who have asked for help with their literacy. They've currently got 90 people on a waiting list. So if you are interested at all in helping tutor adults so that they will become literate and able to support themselves in that domain, this is a great place to volunteer. In police news, there was a shooting in Waynesboro on the 17th of March at 3 o'clock in the morning. The victim did not have life-threatening injuries. The police said that this was a targeted and isolated, doesn't represent a general threat. Apparently they were just after this one person, and there is an ongoing investigation. In Chambersburg, a gentleman by the name of Julian Rodriguez Ramos was arrested for a shooting on Monday, the 24th, at the intersection of West Catherine and Hackberry Street in Chambersburg. They're interested in treating this as a homicide. They also have this link to another shooting that took place on the 10th of March. So hopefully they got the right guy, got a bad actor. They are still seeking and there's a picture in localnews.1, they are still seeking a blue Jeep Compass, which was seen in the area. They're not sure exactly what the relationship is, but at the moment, whoever was driving it or owns it would be a person of interest. So anything you can do to help clean that up. Last thing you need in Chambersburg is people shooting people.
Yeah, that's the last thing we need anywhere. It just sickens me every time I hear it.
Yeah. Let's see, what else we got here? Oh, this was kind of an interesting one. Also in Chambersburg, it is spring, but this is going overboard just a bit. There's a 20-year-old man named Stephen Fleener from Pound, Virginia. Apparently, he was using the internet to meet up with a 14-year-old girl in Chambersburg. Actually drove all the way up to meet with her. Was met by the police. Pennsylvania law does not require that there actually be any physical inappropriate contact. Sure. If you're out there trolling on the net, that's against the law in the state of Pennsylvania. So they picked him up. Presumably, he will not be doing any more of that. In People News, Hagerstown there's a lot of things happening, but I thought this one was great. There was a lady by the name of Cindy Blessing who participated in in Italy in the Special Winter Olympics. She works for Meritus, and she came back from Italy with two silver and one gold medal.
Congratulations!
In a couple of events that she participated in.
Well earned.
And she's back at work now. Also in Hagerstown, this is a repeat actually. Last year we remarked that Meritus Urology Department was awarded a top ranking in the nation by U.S. News and World Report. Well, they got their second one in a row this year. Good on those folks. In Waynesboro, there was a student filmmaker named Anissa Minnick, who took first place in a regional competition where she put together a film for public service announcements. This is apparently the third time in a row she's taken first in regionals, and she went off to states. We don't have the story yet on how she did, but I think that took place this past week on the 21st.
I wonder if she's pretty much getting her way into a PR job, I would think, for the state.
Well, I would hope it's. You know, I'm in the business of knowing good production stuff, and anybody that can win awards like that is going to do well. Let's see, candidates. There were 3 candidates who announced their interest in participating in the 20th of May primary. Curtis Shoup announced his interest for a Chambersburg council position in Ward 3. And Shannon Jackson announced her interest in Council Ward 2. And there was also a young lady by the name of Amy Weebley who is interested in getting a position on the Chambersburg School Board, Region 4. Again, that primary will take place on the 20th of May. You should see more about that in local news as we get closer. Yeah. In Waynesboro, Eric Holzman, who is the business manager for the Waynesboro Area School District, was awarded the David L. Nett Leadership Award at the 70th Annual Conference of the Pennsylvania Association of School Board Official Officers. So good on you, Eric. Well done. Under Health, Meritus has just opened the residency for a new psychiatric residency program. The first class was identified. 5 doctors have been assigned. It's a 4-year program, so once it's fully fleshed out, there will be 20 doctors involved, 5 of them graduating and moving on each year. We have a regular piece called Health with Holly. It's Holly Bertone. She's quite smart about these things. She made an interesting distinction about how you get involved in weight management and health management and whatnot, and she made an interesting distinction that doesn't only apply in health issues. She makes a distinction between what is urgent and what is important. And of course, you read your emails because you feel some urgency to respond to somebody that's called you. There are a whole list of other things that you consider to be urgent. Unfortunately, that also means you're not taking time to take a look at important things like what are you eating, what are your sleeping habits, are you exercising periodically? So she basically offers some suggestions. Says, in order to beat the urgency concern, you actually need to schedule some time to do these things that are important. Yes, they take up time. Yes, they take you away from
important maintenance, I believe, would be accurate.
But this applies everywhere. This applies in business. This applies across the board. So it's a great application of that concept to health concerns. I'm only going to hit one or two here for entertainment. Totem Pole is celebrating 75 years this year, and they're putting their program out. The Chambersburg Community Theater is opening their 71st season this year, and in Waynesboro, Destination Jazz is going to be bringing in some. These guys are amazing. They bring in, Andrew Sussman brings in world-class jazz musicians every year for Destination Jazz. This year, it's going to be the 26th of April. If you've never really seen good jazz, this is an opportunity right here in our area to go see it. Sports, I'm not going to cover all the sports, but there's much more in localnews1.org. Take a look. I'm going to close out with the thought of the day. If you get hit with a can of soda, be grateful. It's only a soft drink.
Love it. Well done. Ba-doom-tsh. Give you a rim shot. Very good. Dan DeDona, localnews1.org. Thank you so much for being here this week, and we will see you in another week where you bring us so much more. You're a wealth of information. Localnews1.org is the website. Get yourself your membership there. It gets you access to all the stories, unlimited reads, unlimited views, unlimited clicks, and they're revamping the website, which, as Dan said, as you view this today, is expected to be up and running with the new website. You will have to sign in once again, but once you do that, hit Remember Me, and you're good to go for 2 years. You won't have to worry about re-signing in on your browser. Localnews1.org is the website. Dan, thank you so much for being here. We'll talk to you in a week. All powered by Legends Bar in Chambersburg. Satisfy your sports fix at Legends Bar, Hollywell Avenue in Chambersburg.
If you'd like to be featured on an upcoming episode of Let's Talk Tri-State, call 717-597-9200 or email letstalk@921thegoat.com.